Hello, everyone. Can you guys hear me? I hope you guys can. I only have one monitor, so I can't check. Wait a second. Why isn't this working? No problem. I'm a patient guy. I will have a lot, that's for sure. I mean, you can ask pretty much anything you want. Like, oh my god. I don't know why Spotify isn't working right now, because it did work like 10 minutes ago. But let's just play through some chill music, okay? We can hear you clearly. Awesome, awesome. Great. We can hear you all right. Blank! Welcome in, welcome in! It's great to see you guys. Okay, so a few things, because this is my very first stream. I'm just gonna check some few things. I hope the chat box is, like, the position is alright. I might have to check that, but, yeah, we can wait for, like, another 10 minutes or so for people to come in, and then we're gonna start, the Q&A session and stuff, okay? So, 1 second. There we go. Change the screen, and let me... I have to adjust it. 1 second. It's gonna look so trippy, but casual, like, super, you know, terrible streamer move, but I have to do it anyway. Okay, so it is kind of, yeah, it's in a bad position, so I'm just gonna put it right there. Okay. And then it should be good. Okay. Awesome. Now we're back, I think. Just gonna turn up the volume a little bit as well. There we go. Is it too loud? Oh my god! I hate these messages. Sorry about that. That might have been very loud. Okay. That is not what I wanted. Oh dear. We're off to a rough start. Okay. Okay, so let's just wait for a few more minutes. Like around, like another 5 minutes or so for people to come in. And then we're gonna start the Q&A session and stuff. So, how are you guys doing? Going from one platform to another is a large change. Take your time. Oh my god. You know, I've been like for the last few hours I've been preparing for this, and I've been like adjusting a lot of different stuff. Like, I had to reconfigure my stream avatar, I have to reconfigure OBS, I have to reconfigure Streamlabs. Like, I have so much stuff going on. Like, it's crazy, okay? It's just so crazy. And, like, I'm actually kind of sad that some of the perks that we had on Twitch is now gone. But, I mean, I also applied for the partner program, so hopefully, like, in the future, when I get to stream again, we'll have super chat and stuff, but other than that, you know, like, it's, yeah. Hello, user! I can't read your name because you have a bunch of letters and numbers, but how are you doing? Thank you for joining. We're waiting for a few more minutes to people to get into the stream so we can talk and chill and, you know, stuff. Wings is good music. Oh, thank you so much. You know, I have so much stuff to talk about the previous tracks that I wrote. Like, dude, like, we have a lot of tracks written down for the past 5 years. Like, this is a lot of lists, right? And, like, I'm here to talk about anything you guys want to know about these tracks. Like, even these old stupid ones, okay? Like, you guys can, like, ask anything. And for the next, like, 2 hours or so, I'm just gonna, like, chill and talk with you guys. I forgot to open up Slitto. Goodness me. 1 second. I'm Japanese? Oh, that's cool! Oh, that's great. So, you're pretty much in the same time, right? That's awesome. That's awesome. Hello from your neighbor country. But yeah, Slido is now active. Okay. We have a couple of questions ready. And then we can go for like a live Q&A stuff, but yeah. We can go for that. Okay. So, I don't know if this button is the camera button or this button is the camera button. This is just so confusing. 1 second. This one is the... Okay. Okay. Good. Cool. Cool. Did it change? It did change. Thank God. Okay, so... we're just gonna wait for a few more minutes. Hungarian? That's great. That's great. I mean, I'm like so when I saw the Spotify Wrapped one, I was very shocked because a lot of people from different countries were listening to my tracks, and wow, like I did not estimate to have so much numbers like compared to last year. I think last year was like 130, and then it was like 100 and like, it increased. The number increased, and I was kind of shocked. Like, I was like, ooh, there's so many countries now. It's just so shocking, but it's a great thing, right? It's a great thing. Why isn't the chat working anymore? See, this is one of those things that really, really bugs me out, is that, like, it doesn't update as much. So, I'm gonna have to reset this, so... I don't like this at all. I'm gonna just look at the... Oh, I see a Korean. So I'm gonna briefly speak in Korean. 안녕하세요. Still half asleep here in the US? Oh, it's fine, Blank. You can just like listen to my voice in your sleep or something. I joined, the numbers increase. Oh, anyone joins, the numbers increase. Like, you guys are, like, each and every one of you guys are so valuable to me because, like, I had a pretty rough year this year, so, you know, it's been crazy and lots of real life stuff going on. So, yeah, it's a thing, but we're good now. We're good. Like, I have a little bit more time now. Now, hopefully this will work. Can you guys, like, type something? Can you guys, like, type something in or something like that, you know? It's just so terrible. Like, setting is like, what is going on? Okay. Oh, there we go. Thank you. Thank you. Well, 2023 was a great year for me. Many things changed, but fortunately in a good way. That's great. That's great. I mean, like, positive changes are always great. Hello, Jacob. How are you doing? Insert joke here. Blank. Stop. Jacob, how are you doing? Thank you for joining. We're just gonna start very soon, actually. We're gonna start the Q&A, like, right now. Okay, so... some of you guys, well, not everyone's here, but a few of you guys posted a question on my community page. If you didn't know it existed, we have a community page, and I did post this, post your questions here, and it says I will be answering during the special live stream. So this whole live stream is celebrating my 5-year journey as a music composer. Yeah, it's already been 5 years. I know, it's crazy. So to celebrate that, I asked some suggestions, like, before, like, a few months ago, and someone said, like, a live Q&A would be great, so I thought, like, maybe it could be great. So, I've opened up a live Q&A session, and before that event, I asked to leave a comment for any questions you guys have for music. So here it is. There are a few of them, but if you have any questions right now, you can just ask me. Ask me, okay? Just ask me, like, go crazy, go nuts. You can also post an anonymous question through the QR code. It might be on the bottom. If you scan it, you can ask the question anonymously. If you're too shy, you don't want to like spoil your name, or like if you're too shy and don't want to type it in the comments, you can just post on a Slido. I'll check it often and answer any questions you may have. Oh, in case you don't know, the camera's down. I'm not using any camera. Oh my goodness, why is this one like, oh my goodness. No camera today, sorry. No camera today. But yeah, let's see. I don't know why this was connected to that. Anyway, so yeah, questions. I posted this and a few of you guys posted a question and I'll answer them first, and then if you guys have any questions, you can just type them in chat or post it on Slido. Okay, great. Okay, let's get started. So we have I did post on Twitter as well and YouTube, and is there anything in Instagram? Oh, I'm not sure if anyone posted on Instagram, but no Instagram. Okay, that's good. Just all the more reason to talk more with you guys live, okay? Understandable, just wasn't sure if that was up and you were staring into a camera without knowing. Oh yeah, I do that all the time. I'm so sorry. But no camera today. For now, no camera for now. Okay. So the first question is from Armory. And what's your favorite instrument to compose for? It doesn't have to be orchestral. So Armory's not here, but I will say it depends on, like, this is a kind of a vague question, to be honest. I'm just gonna zoom in so everyone can see. Like, this is kind of a very vague question. Because if this means for ensemble or for solo. If for solo, I would say French horn or trumpet, okay? French horn solo is very beautiful. I've seen many positive cases we use with solo trombone, like solo French horns, like they were absolutely beautiful. And solo trumpet, it's to a point where it's overused, but it is still great, okay? They use for a reason. Like, it's just so great, okay? So I would say for solo, I guess French horn and trumpet plus some flute stuff, which I do very often in my old tracks. Yeah, French horn it is beautiful, and I enjoy writing them. It's one of my favorite instruments ever, but all that. And for an ensemble, I would say violin. I'm the most used to violin, like writing violin and strings in general, so I would say it's the easiest for me, and it is my favorite. Like, strings, just amazing tool to convey emotions. It's just amazing. So yeah, that's it for Armory's question. Okay, we have our pads right here, which you're right here, so I can communicate with you with this one. Do you plan to collaborate with a film studio? I could totally imagine your music even in a high budget film. Thank you. I love your content so much. It helped me through hard times and made the great times even more fantastic. I listened to your music for like a year now and I've never got bored of it. Year? Wow. Thank you so much. It's just great to hear from you guys, like, enjoying my music. Yeah, it's just fantastic. And do you plan to collaborate with a film studio? Well, I wouldn't say a studio, but I did work with some clients before. One of which was a very long time ago. It was like, it was a Minecraft machinima film, called Herobrine Origins, and I composed some of the films in that franchise kind of thing. And the studio, the studio in question was Elite Productions, and they contacted me and they were like, hey, can you compose some music for our films? And I was like, okay. And yeah, I did work with them, and one of them are like 2-hour long film. Like, that one was insane. Like, the whole process was crazy, but I would say I already did this technically. It's not like I didn't get paid because it was like a long time ago and I was kind of inexperienced back then. But well, if there's a call, if there's a gig coming in, I mean, I could consider it. Like, yeah, I would consider someone, if they want me to write music for film, then absolutely. I mean, I'm a film major myself, and I am kind of confident that I could be able to communicate with them more, a lot more better, that is. So, working for film studios and working for films, absolutely yes, okay? Yeah, so that would be my answer. If you have any more questions, Arpad, you can just comment down or, like, put it in chat. Okay, so we have Korusvoa? Okay, I can't read it, but but he says, what is your process when you compose your music? I've been trying to get started making my own, but I keep getting lost halfway through. So again, this is unfortunately a bit of a vague question. But generally, like, I would say, well, it really depends on a track. Like, sometimes, like, I come up with the melody before chords, and sometimes I come up with, like, an entire, like, section before, like, anything else. Like, I get, you know, like, the same melodies and chords, and I have the same, like, the exact section, like, with the orchestration, like, and everything in it. I write that first and then write the rest. Like, it really depends on the track. I would say if you keep getting lost, just save it, okay? Just save your working project. Just save your scrap, and look at them later. Like, you should take a break if you feel like you're getting lost, because if you try to, like, you know, hold it and struggle through it, it will be worse and worse. It would be pretty bad. Most of the time it will. So I would say if you get lost halfway through, just take a break. And to be honest, like, if you're a beginner, I would say write a very, very simple track. Like, even if it's repetitive, it's fine. One of the things that I learned when making music is that, like, when I look at my previous works, most of the earlier ones are very, very repetitive. And that's okay, because if you nail down one section, you can nail down all the other sections. You can spread out the technique. Like, if you can, like, master the basis and then, like, spread out, it would be much more easier to write the entire track, rather than, you know, you're not getting the basics right, but then you're, like, trying to scramble all over the place, and it's gonna be a very messy track. Okay, so even if it's repetitive, if you have, like, an idea for a specific section, just repeat it and make it into, like, a 1-minute track. Okay, it doesn't have to be 3 minutes long. The length isn't really important, because the length really depends on how much of an emotion you want to pack into it. If you have enough emotion, like various emotions or various sections you want to pack into a 4-minute track, that's fine. But if you have a repetitive track that goes on for 4 minutes, why bother listening to it? Because it's the same thing over and over and over for 4 minutes, you know? So I would say just make a shorter track and nail that one section and maybe repeat it once or twice. Just change your instruments, you know, you don't have to go that far, but change your instruments, like, try to experiment with it, but just the overall idea would just be repeating, if you get what I mean. So I would say that would be one of these solutions. You could just finish with your section and then move on to the next, and then move on to the next and stuff. What applications can you recommend for composing? Isa asked, and Well, well, if you're composing music, you need to have a DAW, you know? It's simple. It's very simple. You need to have a digital audio workstation. And the one that I use is FL Studio. Of course, I'm opening it up. The reason I like FL Studio is, well, of course, I used it for 5 years and it's fine, right? And second, it's easier. Like, the UI is pretty easy. I know it's very limiting and people hate me for writing music in FL Studio. Everyone's asking me to change to Cubase. I do have Cubase, but I don't have a MIDI keyboard right now, so I can't. As a person who doesn't have a MIDI keyboard right now, I can just draw it with my mouse, like, pretty easily. Like, you can just, like, stretch it, like, it's very easy to write, okay? And it's very, the UI is very friendly, especially the piano roll, and there are so many packs and presets that you can use. You can, there's a lot of stuff that I really like. Personally, I enjoy using Flex. Flex is my favorite stock-in plugin, okay? I bought a lot of hacks from this because it sounds pretty good. And these are good for sound designs. And some of those epic tracks need sound design, you know, obviously. So, it is one of the great things that for FL Studio is you get to do a lot of sound design and synth stuff. Because FL Studio is made for these kind of electronic music, so, you know, it's just great. So, FL is great. The only thing that's not great is the mixer, okay? Mixer is kind of bad. And if you're working for a client and you need to stem out, like, your tracks to send it to client, terrible workflow. It's a nightmare. I don't want to go through it again, but I have to. Other than that, yeah, FL Studio is great. I mean, it's the one that I use, so I would recommend that, obviously. It's my personal opinion, after all. And, like, other than that, I would say libraries are very dependent on what kind of track you're planning to make. Just prioritize on getting a bundle library, okay? If you're writing orchestral track, just buy, like, a bundle library where you can get pretty much everything in one bundle. I know, it's expensive. It's pretty dang expensive. Even those low-quality ones are kinda expensive. But if you get, like, the first bundle, you can play with it, you know? You can just try to experiment and make a track with it. And if you get lucky, you will get a revenue, and from that revenue you can build your library, you know? That would be like a long term, and you can, you know, if you have a side job, if you have a job or something, you can, you know, spare your money on something else and you know, like save your money for the libraries while you work on these tracks and practice and improve your skills, and then use those money to buy better libraries and then build your library stock from there. Okay, so these are the 4 questions from YouTube. Let's see if there's anything else. I gotta check. Oh, by the way, guys, if you have any questions, just type it in chat, okay? If you have any questions listening to me rambling and talking, you can just don't hesitate, just type it in chat. Okay, we have Bresci from Twitter. I'm working on it. Okay, great. We have Bresci asking, what's your favorite genre of music to compose? Bresci is not here, unfortunately, but favorite genre, of course, epic music. Epic music is my favorite genre. I would say cinematic music would be an alternative way to speak. But yeah, epic music. I would say I'm slowly dipping into jazz. Jazz is very difficult for me, but I'm, like, trying to get the hang of it. But other than that, epic music, absolutely. Orchestral music, epic music, film music, whatever. Like, anything that has massive orchestra, you know, like, beautiful orchestra, just anything that's involving orchestra, pretty much. Yeah, it is the easiest and the most, like, comfortable one for me. So, yeah, no questions so far from Slitto. Okay, that's great. I know absolutely nothing about music and music design. I'm mostly just along for the ride. Oh, no worries. But if you have, like, it doesn't have to be music, okay? It can be anything. So, if you have any, like, any question that doesn't have to be music, like, you can ask, like, what's the life of a composer like, or something like that, you know? I mean, I'm a student, so I'm not, like, a full-time composer, but you can ask, like, what do you feel when you make music, or something like that. Can you show me whatever, like, what do you do, or something like that. Because I'm planning to show you some of my projects, like my previous projects. I don't know if they will open properly, but I can share you my folders, like I can show you what it looks like, and I'm also thinking if I should make like a very short 8-bar track from scratch or something like that, but you know, that's a future thing. So yeah. Okay, so that's great. Okay, so not a lot of questions, but it is still questions, so I'm very glad you asked. While we wait for more questions, let's talk about my very short journey. My very, very short, brief rundown of my journey, okay? So, okay, so a lot of people, like throughout the years have asked, like, how do you get into music? Did you learn any music? Did you study anything? I will say I didn't study anything, okay? I'm self-taught. And there's a few factors from my childhood that really impacted my way of, like, writing music and stuff. Oh man. So I have a Newgrounds page. If you don't know, Newgrounds is like a platform where you share your work, like animation, games, and music, and art and stuff. Yeah, if you haven't heard of Newgrounds, that's that platform. And I joined this platform around 2015 or 16 or something like that. And that was technically when I started making music. Okay, it was 2015. That was technically when I started making music. Now, I say technically because back then I really didn't make any, like, original melodies. I didn't know how to use a DAW. I didn't know how to do anything, okay? I was a blank slate. but I did use this one single program that I loved working with. Can you explain how your learning curve went up so fast? I first discovered your music on the Alex Pepper DC channel and it was just top tier quality even though you were very new to music. Yeah, that's what I'm planning to explain because a lot of people have asked, like, how do you, like, it's only been, like, few years, right? How is your music so good? And I thought about it, you know, reminiscing my 5-year journey, and I thought about it, and there were a lot of factors that led me to this point, and I can explain and answer your question as well, Jacob. This is a very good question too, which will pretty much sum up my entire 5-year journey. So I will say for the past, like, okay, so I officially started making music as a composer when it was December 2018, okay? 5 years ago. Like, around this time I started making music. But before that, okay, for the past 2 to 3 years, there was like a pre-build era, okay? I didn't make original tracks, okay? That time I didn't make a lot of original tracks. However, I did learn a lot of things. The first app that I used in 2015 was Music Maker Jam. Now, this one, people hate these kind of things, like looping music. Let me just turn off my music and just let's just watch the trailer, okay? Now this is a very, very improved, like, you know, this is a very improved, you know, high technology, 2023 technology Music Maker Jam, okay? But back then, it was very limiting. It was very limiting. The app was only like 2 to 3 years old, if I remember. And of course, there's loops, okay? There's loops. Now, these loops are the ones that taught me pretty much how to separate different instruments. Now, before all this, I was in an orchestra. It was a middle school orchestra, and there were like 40 to 50 students back then. 40 to 50 students with full orchestral sections, except harp and piccolo. It had everything. Tubular bells, timpani, marimba, like trombone, tuba. It even had tubular bells, I already explained that. It even had like oboe, clarinet, saxophones, piano, like all those instruments were there in the orchestra. And I was the first violin. Now, I was in that orchestra for 2 years, and unconsciously, I learned a lot of things while practicing with the orchestra, because when you practice with an orchestra, like, conductors sometimes, like, call out specific sections, like, woodwind section, brass section, like, play section from, like 100 to 130 bars or something like that. Like, you hear those sections, you know, like a solo. Like, when you play through music, you solo some sections, like, right? Like, it's something like that. It was like that, okay? It felt like that. So, yeah, I unconsciously seemed to have built that kind of perception, I guess, like listening to the sections. And then when I left that orchestra and started technically making music, it was Music Maker Jam, which improved that, because if you see this, there are sections, right? And it has like different instruments like bongos, piano, synth, saxophone. You can choose different instruments and jam with them, like mix those and blend those in, and those kind of helped me a lot. And I have some tracks that I made with this app, and it's horrible. It's just repetitive melody, repetitive chords, but still, it was very, very fun making this. I had a lot of fun making this, okay? It was 2015. I was in like middle high school thing. So it was fun, okay? And then I switched to, I was like, I can't stay making this loop track. I want to make my own. So I decided to go for GarageBand iOS. I had like a very small iPhone. And I made music with these, and oh, it was so much better than Music Maker Jam, because Music Maker Jam, you can't make melodies, you can't make your own chords, you can't make your own sections. The strings sucked, the brass sucked, my mix sucked, everything sucked, but it was so much more freedom than Music Maker Jam. And I made a lot of tracks with those, and that's when I started posting on Newgrounds. Now, some of these are looped, that have looped stuff in it, so I wouldn't say this is like completely original, but I did have my own melodies and my own, chord progressions and sections in it. And people seem to like it, people seem to like my work, so I was like, interesting, maybe I could go something more with this, Oh man. See, 2017, that's a long time ago. That was around a year and a half before I started, like, using FL Studio, technically. So, let's just listen to this horrible track. this is like a pretty much a rip-off from the Chronicles of Narnia soundtrack chord progression, but whatever. It's still better than what I could ever make. Oh my god, no! I still can't believe this has 5,000 listens. This is illegal, okay? This is not... Oh god. So again, it's repetitive, right? Like, it's the same thing, but, like, you know, with a better key, okay? So it's transposed, okay? But it's repetitive, like, it's the same thing. Okay, so, yeah, this was the track that changed my life, pretty much. Alongside other things that I will explain later. But... 5 years? I'm super happy for you! Papa Rico, hello! Thank you for joining! And thank you so much. I still can't believe it's been that long. But yeah, 5 years. Yay! Yay! Yeah. Anyway, yeah. Heroes Here is the track that literally I can say pretty much changed my life. And this gentleman right here, he actually gifted me FL Studio when I was young. He listened to my tracks, like, very, very early GarageBand iOS tracks. And he was like, dude, I think you need something much more better. And he gifted me FL Studio when it was like in 2017. But I couldn't use it because I didn't have a computer back then. So until I got my own computer, I couldn't use FL Studio at all. So for the next around a year and a half, I kept making music in GarageBand. I just slowly trying to variate some ideas and stuff. So yeah, a lot of practices. Like, I made so many tracks. Like, look at this. Like, 2017, like, this is a lot of track, right? This is my very first track, Gentle Breeze. This is my very first track, pretty much. And then, like, everything is, like, made with GarageBand. And if you visit my Newgrounds page, you can just take a listen, but most of them are pretty garbage, I will say. But, I did practice a lot with this. And starting at late 2018, that's when I started making music with FL Studio. And this was the first track that I made with the FL Studio. Now, so how did I get so much learning curve? Like, how was I able to develop so much technique in such a short time? First of all, I had a pre-build era, like I mentioned. I had around 2 to 3 years of, like, learning a lot of things, mostly unconsciously. Like, these all are, I made it for fun, okay? I had a lot of stress with school, and I had to move to different locations, so I was alone most of the time, you know? So I invested a lot of time into making these tracks for fun, because these were truly something that I could rely on in making me happy. So it was a complete hobby. I just made tracks like crazy. Like, I printed out like crazy. FL Studio went hard in a computer class back in sophomore year. I loved using it. Yeah, what do people teach these days? Do they teach Reaper? I don't know. But I remember that in the class that I took for fun, they were suggesting to use Logic Pro, and I did use Logic Pro a little bit before, but I don't like it that much. I would prefer FL Studio and Cubase. So, yeah. Anyway, yeah, I made this for hobby. Like, I just made so many tracks. Like, a lot of them had really good melodies and stuff. Oh man, I don't know. I've been out of school for a handful of years now, lol. It's totally fine. Like, I really don't know what they learn nowadays. I mean, I haven't been to music school, so I don't know what they learn. But I did take a music class in my college, and like a course, a course for fun, and they taught Logic Pro, I think. Yeah, I remember they suggested to use Logic Pro because all of the computers were Mac in that area, and I don't use Mac anymore. Back then I used Mac, but not now. The last time I took a music class was 7th grade. Blank. Oh dear. We all take music classes, and most of them hate them. But I loved it. Like, I loved all music classes, and I got mostly, like, all A's. Like, I almost never failed any, any music classes. But yeah. Oh! I forgot to mention. Okay, even before the orchestra happened, I was in a children's choir. Now that's a big thing because when writing choirs, you need to know what are the voices: soprano, mezzo soprano, alto, tenor, baritone, bass. Like, while I was in the choir, I learned those things, and I think that's when no, I learned sheet music when I played the violin. That was way before choir. So I have a lot of history with music throughout my entire childhood. So I'm a bit familiar with like music in general, and I didn't hate it, just didn't get it. I understand. I understand. I am like that uh in some of the classes that really makes me feel like I don't hate this class, but I don't know what they're talking about, Something like that, yeah. So yeah, I understand that. Excuse me. But yeah, I have a long history with music, pretty much, and those unconscious learning by participating in different kinds of activities like a choir, like an orchestra, like that kind of stuff really unconsciously gains me a lot of knowledge related to how composers write music. Because if you pay attention, you can see it, but I wasn't paying attention, but my brain was paying attention nonetheless. So after that, I wrote a lot of music with GarageBand. Like, these are all GarageBand tracks. And then when I got my computer, I spent all my saved up money that I saved for 4 years to get East West Quantum Leap Hollywood Orchestra Series. Oh, expensive. I would not recommend buying it. But I did buy it, and I made my first track. And this is the first track that I wrote with FL Studio. And since then, everything is history. Like, everything happened so fast. And if you want to learn what happened throughout the 5 years, I can briefly explain. Where's the track? There it is. I don't like Newgrounds when playing music, but then again, like when I want to play, okay, let's just play it on YouTube, okay? Let's just play it on YouTube. Why did I like that? It's okay, I like it. Hope Gaming? Yes, you're right. Yes, you're right. Yeah. Don't you like it or what? I like it. I actually like this track. This is kind of my jam. I like it. so I'm pressing like, you know. It's also my very first track that I wrote with FL Studio and East West Quantum Leap. I smushed too much instruments into this track. It's crazy. Like, so many drums. Is this music available in Newgrounds? Yeah, everything is available in Newgrounds. I post every single track on Newgrounds, and I did get whitelisted in Geometry Dash, so I see people use my music from Geometry Dash, and one of them actually got into dailies, which was pretty interesting. I can talk about it later on. Arpad, I'm glad you think so. I have a few critique with this track. I know I'm critiquing my own track, but I think it might be helpful for some few people out there. Okay, so the first issue is that there's no breathing room. Okay? There's no breathing room for the... Oh my god, my music just doesn't work here. Okay, so there's no breathing room for the woodwinds and brass. Like, everything is just like... They don't breathe. If you write notes, you make sure when you're writing notes for woodwinds and brass, you make sure to have a gap. In MIDI, okay? Even though in sheet music, it doesn't work that way. There's no gaps. Like, you can write gaps on sheet music. Like, I've seen people do that, but at least in MIDI, when you write music, like, you write like this, right? This is a legato, right? Make sure you make a gap, and then, you know, like, and then you have, like, a breathing room here, and then breathing room here. Like, make sure you do that. If you don't, there's no breathing room, and people are gonna suffocate listening to it. So, that's the main issue, I would say. And some of the parts that I didn't like was the initial, like, outburst of energy. Like, sometimes that works, but for this, especially in the beginning, I wouldn't say it's the best, you know? It could be more roughened out, it could have more time for building up energy, but other than that, like, I really like the melody, and, you know, yeah, my favorite is the middle part, because the middle part is very calm, like, very, very hopeful, but all that, yeah. Kevin Bien, hello! How are you doing? Hope you're doing great. Is it morning for you, or afternoon, or evening? I don't know if anyone's afternoon. Maybe in European countries, but yeah. Rework when? Maybe later. It's too early. 5 years? Still too early. It has to be at least 10 years, okay? Oh my god! It's actually, like, literally almost, like... It's like exactly 5 years ago. Oh my god. Yeah, this is making me emotional. But yeah, this was my first track that I wrote with FL Studio. The mix is very mushed, and it's not that great, but I think it's pretty good quality, despite the fact I had no idea how to work with a DAW. The project is so terrible. I don't have the project with me right now. I'm pretty sure it's removed, but, like, you will never see how messy that project was. Like, it's an absolute garbage dump mess. 10 years? That's such a long time. well, maybe 10 years. Maybe 8 years. Not right now. 5 years is too early still. Blazer, thank you so much for joining. Isn't it too early for you? But thank you so much. Happy 5 years, Jesse. Congrats. Thank you. I still, yeah, 5 years. It's crazy. But yeah, this is the first track that I wrote. Okay, do we have any more questions? No, we don't have any questions. Okay. Cool. Okay, so let's take a brief rundown of what happened in the last 5 years. And 6 a.m.? Oh my god, it's weekend and you're woken up at 6 a.m. From my standpoint of knowing nothing, what's it like playing video games with the knowledge of composing and ability to understand theory that often goes over the head of general player base? Oh, that is a fantastic question because I am a gamer. If you didn't know, I play games a lot, and man, game music is the one that I really get, you know, my ears into. Like, I prefer to listen to in-game music rather than, you know, playing on chill music most of the time, other than grinding like for hours and hours. I would say I would prefer in-game music. Question: Space Cowboy lo-fi hip-hop when? I don't know how to write Space Cowboy lo-fi hip-hop. I don't know how to do that. Like, I would say that it does give me a few clicks, blank. It does give me a few clicks. I sometimes feel like, oh, this is a good technique. Or like, oh, this is a very nice, subtle atmosphere to cinematics, because a lot of cinematic music are very subtle, and, I am very bad at writing subtle music, and I'm currently working for a client who has an indie game, and writing game music for them really is something that is very eye-opening to me, and I will explain later, like way later, if I have a chance to talk about it, because right now I can't talk about it, it's NDA, but it has been very eye-opening for me so far. Damn, worth a shot. I know, but I can't write it. I can't write lo-fi. Like, that's not my biggest strength. But, back to your question, Blank. I will say that listening to in-game music when playing video games really give you some inspiration. Some sort of inspiration. There's something to learn from them. Because they are much more skilled than you, and listening to stuff that are, you know, have higher level of quality and production, it's always inspiring, and you learn something from it, whether it is from a melodical standpoint, from instrument usage, atmosphere, or the way that you fit the music so well into the game, like integrated to the game, is something like you learn a lot from. And to be honest, I am able to write music for this game studio client thanks to my years of gaming. If I didn't know about gaming, which I didn't until I got to like college, I learned a lot of things when it comes to games and music, and it really helped me. always have to start somewhere. Exactly. Yeah, totally. You have to start from scratch. Whatever it is you may be, you have to start from completely knowing nothing, and you have to make something out of it, which is very difficult, but if you enjoy the process, then it would be less painful, you know? Okay, so, yeah, and, yeah, a lot of stuff that you just experience for fun always have something to learn, so if you feel like you're wasting your time, you're actually not wasting your time, you're learning something out of it. Like, you learn something from pretty much any experience you have. Whether it's negative or positive, you just learn something out of it, and it will improve you as a person. So, yeah. What is your favorite game OST and favorite movie OST? Oh, that is such a rough question, Blazer. Why did you ask that question? It's fine. It's totally fine. Favorite game OST? There's a lot, but I would say... Hi, Jason! How are you doing? I hope you're doing fantastic. Is it too early for you? I know the time frame is kind of weird. You know, these are not the best time frames for you guys, but, you know, I had to do it. Sorry. It's what I do. Okay, my favorite game OSTs... Can confirm trying something out is the best way to get to know it. Definitely, yeah. Okay, my favorite game OST. There's a lot, but I would say... Oh, there are so many. But I would say Destiny soundtrack is, like, the best. I can't play it, maybe, because of music, but Destiny 2 soundtrack, like, in general, is just so amazing. Journey, oh, so good. Rise of Iron soundtrack, oh, so good. Also Warframe soundtracks are pretty good, actually. It fits my vibe, it fits my jam. There's a lot of choirs, like vocal stuff going on. It's really nice. I love Genshin. Dude, I love Genshin too. Genshin soundtrack is also great. I actually am a fan of Fontaine soundtrack out of all the soundtracks so far. It's kind of weird because I love Yu Peng Chen's work, but Fontaine music is just top tier. It's my vibe. It's my jam. Okay, I love Fontaine music, and I sometimes listen to it when I'm like playing games that like chill games. So yeah, I think Bungie said that you are allowed to use their music within fair use, but YouTube is YouTube. Yeah, I'm like a little bit worried. I don't want my channel to be something weird. Like, I don't want to get like copyright claim or strike. Like, I don't want to do that. So, yeah. So yeah, Warframe soundtrack amazing, Destiny soundtrack amazing, and Genshin soundtrack amazing, of course, and of course. Who could not forget about Christopher Tin? Civ music, amazing. Civilization 6, 5, amazing. He's very famous for Baba Yitu, right? Baba Yitu and Sakno du Volaire. These twos are like the top work. But he's so good with writing choir music, which I'm so envious of this because I love choirs, okay? I love choir music, and he's like top tier. He's like so good at writing it. So yeah, Civ music, yeah, definitely Civ music as well. It's so great. Civ playthrough when? Dude, I suck at Civilization 6, okay? I suck at it. I do have a game. Okay, I do have it on my Steam, okay? I do where is it? I have 5 and 6, but I didn't install it because I don't play as much. So, yeah, definitely those tracks. Okay, movie score. Oh, my favorite movie is Inside Out, and I would say that soundtrack is great too. Like not 2, but 1. Inside Out 1. Those tracks are really nice. Like, it's just so much like bells and stuff into it. It like reminds you of memory cores, like those like tinkling glass sound. Like, oh, it's just so genius. It's great. I'm so hungry of bulldog ramen noodles. You eat bulldog ramen noodles? I can't eat those because it's too spicy for me. I know Korean people said complaining about eating spicy food. I'm one of those rare people. That's for sure. Anyway, Inside Out has a great soundtrack. My next favorite, well, equivalent to Inside Out is Interstellar. Now, I'm one of those people who didn't watch it on cinema, and I'm very, very regretful that I didn't watch this at all. But Interstellar. Yes, Interstellar is an amazing soundtrack, and everyone knows it. No one could complain. It's just so sad and so good. It's so beautiful. Interstellar, definitely. Yeah, maybe that would answer you, Blank? Or not Blank, wait, was it Blazer? Yeah, Blazer, sorry. Blazer, you asked that question, and that's your answer. As a Hungarian, I can't eat anything but spicy stuff. Dude, you would love here in Korea. Korean food, so spicy. Like, everything is just spicy. I am getting used to eating spicy food. I mean, I could eat kimchi, okay? I could eat kimchi, but not like bulldog ramen or like, those spicy foods like I can't handle at all. Oh, it was a combo back-to-back question? Okay. So, yeah. It's kind of like John Powell is one of my favorite composers. Oh, How to Train Your Dragon. Of course. How to Train Your Dragon. Of course. Oh, yeah. How to Train Your Dragon. Classic. Amazing track. Okay, yeah. That is definitely in the list. Um I will say I will say when I wrote The Spirit Adventure, everyone's been saying like, "Hey, this sounds too much like How to Train Your Dragon." And back then, I didn't watch How to Train Your Dragon. I didn't know what How to Train Your Dragon was. And I was like, what is How to Train Your Dragon? And I listened to it. I was like, oh, this one. I listened to it somewhere. but this was definitely not the inspiration. But yeah, anyway. That's a little something. Thanks for answering my question. Oh, definitely. Congratulations on 5 years, Jesse. It's been so long since the last time I wrote. This journey must have been super fun, but hard fought until now. Keep up the great work as always. Oh, Lightning, thank you so much for visiting, and thank you for the kind heart message. Man, yeah, you've been so long. It's been so long since I saw you last, and it's just I'm so glad that everyone's alive and well, and it's almost the end of the year too, guys. So yeah, it's 2024 very soon, and it's gonna be a crazy year for me because I'm graduating, and a lot of things will happen. This is kind of the period where I start contemplating whether or not I should continue writing music as a hobby or actually pursue it as a career goal because I am slowly getting used to writing music for clients. I got paid writing music for like a year or two. That's probably why I was very not so frequent on uploading tracks because I was writing for clients a lot. Um Lightning, thank you. So yeah, I am slowly getting like fusing into writing like commission tracks and stuff. So it's not something that would be completely new to me, but thinking about like if I write music as a full time, most of the time I won't write music like for myself, not for a hobby, right? Most of the time. Like I would, but it wouldn't be that great because it would feel like work, another work for myself rather than just for funsies, right? And to be completely honest, can I be honest with you guys? I'm not having fun writing music. And that's not a bad thing, okay? That's not a bad thing because doing something for fun has its advantages and disadvantages. If you do something for fun, then it would spiritually help you, you know, regulate stress and all that. And it would be so fun. But if you start like actually trying to like, oh, should I just start making money out of it and do it as a job? It would drastically change. If you start working for the same thing that you did like for fun as a hobby, it's completely different thing, and it would stress you out because it's not like you thought it would. You thought that, like, you may think like, oh, working for something that you are fun of doing it will be fun at work as well. But you will be shocked to know that most of the time it isn't. It's just stress and stress and stress because it is work after all. Thanks, finally someone is saying it. But yeah, I would say making music for fun is a great thing, okay? You guys are doing it for hobby. Excellent. You have a job, you don't like your life. If you want to like have a fresh breath of air, spiritual renovation, or something like that, you can just definitely just make music and you can escape your reality for a second and be like, this is amazing. But when you start working for a client, you're not writing for yourself, you're writing for someone else, and you get paid for it, and that is work. And when you're working, most of the time it will not feel like an exhilarating experience, okay? I've always seen it as doing what you want but following someone else's rules. Yeah, that's one of the hard things of making music, making a hobby into a career. Yeah, I would say, like, okay, so back in 2019 when I wrote Termination, Adventure of the Seas, the Soar Again, The Spirit of Adventure, Scars of War, Legend of the Seas, and It's Time, like these tracks, Skyland, these tracks are technically for funsies. They are for funsies, and I just wanted to share my funsies work with everyone. And if they like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't. And it doesn't matter because I like it and I like sharing stuff with people. So, I just posted, and thankfully a lot of people liked it. The promotional channels liked it. um and then after Scars of War upload, Gothic Story Music, one of the trailer libraries. Well, I did submit a application to be part of the trailer library, and they responded, "Yes, you're in. Congratulations." So I got in and wrote an entire album. Man, it was a painful work. Okay, I got paid nothing. Well, I did get a placement later, but I didn't get paid like up front when working on an album, and I worked it for 3 months straight, writing music day and night with my partner back then, and wow, that was a shocking experience. It was a shocking experience, and I vowed never to write another album for a publisher ever again because it's just so painful. Not that it's bad. Some people feel like it's fitting for them, but it wasn't me. It wasn't my jam. I didn't like the way that it worked out. I preferred to write music with meaning. Publishers want music that will sell well to the editors, and their job is to make as much tracks as possible because sometimes the more you make it, the better your chances are of getting a placement. And that's what they want. They want people, fast writers, great writers who can write technically great music that would sell well to the editors. And I wasn't one of them. Well, in my preferences, that is. I wanted to have meaning to each tracks. I wanted to know, why am I writing these tracks, In each track, there should be a story. In each track, there should be an emotion. In each track, there should be something that explains what the heck is going on, you know? So that was my jam. I preferred that way much more. So I moved to Herobrine Origins. Herobrine Origins. Now, this one is kind of interesting because this is a fan made, well, not fan made, but like a Minecraft machinima film based on a creepypasta Herobrine. And they had a very, very good reputation of making a amazing short, amazing first film of Herobrine Origins, and they got like million view or something, and they started making a series. Now they said, "Oh, we want to make this final film, part 4, and can you write a soundtrack for it?" And look at this, guys. 1 hour and 58-minute film. 1 hour and 58-minute film. That's a 2-hour film. And I wrote music for every single one of almost every single one of the scenes, okay? Recently took more film scoring classes this year, and one of the things they taught us was the essence of a film composer is to help someone else tell a story, but in your own way. Yeah. I had known that, but it was one of the harder lessons that I needed to learn because I had started to lose interest in music as a whole, which is funny saying now. Yeah, that is definitely correct. And as a film major who is making short film next year, music needs to help convey a story that the director wants to tell. And you are one of the greater assets of telling a story, and you need to package it well, if you know what I mean. You already have a rough cut done, you already have the edit done, and you underscore it, and you need to make sure that each of these scenes convey an emotion in a certain way that the director wants. And I wrote this 2 hour long soundtrack, unpaid. Unpaid. I did get a tip later. Unpaid, and I worked like under 3 months. And after this, I had a very, very long art block because I was so exhausted. Now, when you do so much exhaustive work, you start getting used to it. Your brain starts getting used to that exhaustive work. And all those hard work after that feels a little more numb, if you get what I mean. Like, you get used to it, okay? Now, these two shocking experiences shaped for me towards a commission ready mindset, if you get what I mean. Like, I got more used to getting better and better commissions more and more. Now, Herobrine Origins was a very, very great experience because you write music yourself and you talk with your director directly, and you have a 2 hour film to work with, okay? You write so many scenes and so many different parts, and you learn something out of it. Whether it is talking with, like, communicating with the director, whether it is writing music and getting revisions, like, there's so much stuff you learn. And even though I was very stressful about this whole project for a long, long time, at the end of the day, it was one of the projects that was really valuable to me, taking another first step into a better commissions. 100%. Hello, ma'am. How's your day? Kumar. Hello. How are you doing? Hope you're doing fantastic today. Is it late or is it early for you? Or is it afternoon? Well, why isn't the chat working again? Let me reset the window. No. Let me reset the window. Okay. Yeah. How's your day? It's been a great evening. I took a lot of break and I'm feeling a little bit better. You from India? No, I'm from South Korea. Well, it's written in welcome. I'm a South Korean composer making epic music, you know. So, yeah, South Korean. Yeah. Sorry. I need to get some water. Okay. So, yeah, that project was very shocking, but also really helped me a lot to get into more professional projects like Ace. Like Ace is a legitimate great project. Like it's one of those projects that really helped me a lot. Why are you so underrated? That's a good question that I cannot answer. I'm sorry. That's one of the few questions that I cannot answer because um underrated is something that is meant for much more talented people than me, okay? I am decent, I would say, technically. But I still have a lot to learn. Like, I have a major in music. I don't know a lot about music theory. I just started writing music for fun and then like started to get slowly into a little bit more paid projects, but that is all. You know, I'm not a famous writer or anything. Kumar asking the real questions. Arpad, welcome back. What a question. Ace was great. I know. Like the entire process was amazing. I would say it's one of the best projects I've ever worked on, and the director was great. Like he was great. The only issue was with the deadlines, but other than that, the entire creative process and everything, like it's been fantastic, you know. Like it's a 3D animation. It's from one of my favorite games, and Destiny 2 will always be my favorite game, even though it sucks right now. I know. It's kind of sad, but whatever. But yeah, it's just one of those projects that really enhance my production skills, too. I really wish I can show you the confronted head on track scene because this scene was like I wrote it so beautifully. I was really proud of it, but then it got scrapped and I was like can we at least like release this soundtrack? And my director was like, "Okay, yeah, sure." But yeah, it's still sad. Do you have any plan to come to India? Not right now because I want to focus on my current commissions and my current real life. But you know, who knows if I have something up going on, like a work or something like that to India, like I could visit there, but not for right now and I won't be going to any like like foreign countries for a while, I'm pretty sure, because I'll be very busy from now on starting next year. New season isn't that bad. I wish Bungie didn't have to do what they did, but the AAA bubble is bursting and Sony knows it. Dang, sounds like a fun scene. Yeah, it is fun. And blank, I know. It is quite sad of what the video game industry is heading towards and you know, as a person who is really really interested in writing music for games too, like it's kind of painful to see, but hopefully it will get better, you know? Hopefully the environment gets better for me to like work on later on, but not right now. Not right now. You look so young. Are you married? Now, that is a very personal question, so I wouldn't answer that because this is a personal question and I can't say it. Do I if I look young would I get married? Well, that is obviously like the answer is obvious, but again, personal question so I can't answer. Sorry. The struggle of a film composer or any creative person, I say. Anyone that does commission work, honestly. Yeah, it is a struggle. Like I'm in this really weird limbo of like if I wanna if I wanna continue onwards with the music or staying as a hobby. But like I said, I would say right now, if I go back to a hobby, it still wouldn't feel like a hobby. It wouldn't feel like just funsies anymore. So it would be either A, chuck it out, which I really don't want to, you know, or B, work it out, you know, do it as an actual work or a side job, you know? Like that would be the best solution because if I write music now, like for myself, I wouldn't, yeah, it's not the same feeling anymore. It feels like work. Like everything, if I, like if I open up FL Studio now and start writing, it would feel like work because I worked so many times before. I mean, the last track I wrote was 2 years ago, and for the past 2 years, I worked for so many projects. I worked for Old Chicago, I worked for Ace, and I'm working for NDA Project, and I'm working for other people. Like, I'm writing music for other people. Like, I'm doing so much stuff for other people now. Now that, like, at a point where I don't feel like I want to, write music for myself anymore. It's not that much great. How many commissions are working right now? One commission. But it's a big one, so I can't like spend a lot of time on working other tracks. But I need to rest. It's vacation. I had a rough semester. Even though I did get good grades in the end, it's still a rough semester. So, I need to rest and I want to focus on the current big commission right now. So, yeah. Who's your favorite composer other than you? I don't think I'm the favorite composer. Or bad. I don't think I'm the favorite composer. But my favorite composer, well, there are a few. John Powell, John Williams. John Williams is a genius. John Powell is also a genius. Hans Zimmer. I don't listen to Hans Zimmer nowadays. I don't know why. I used to like him, but nowadays I don't listen to him as much. Christopher Tin, like I mentioned earlier, is great. Yu Peng Chen, amazing composer. Um, Other than that, I would say one of my fellow composers where I enjoy listening to is Mitchell Broom. Now, he was very helpful for my earlier years on making music, and his music is like so good. Okay, go listen to him. Go listen to this fine gentleman's tracks. Okay, Mitchell Broom is one of my favorite composers who are like currently talking with me actively. And well, I don't talk with composers now actively nowadays because I'm too busy, but Mitchell, there he is. Go listen to him. Okay. Yay, Mitch. Yeah, yeah. Do you teach online or do you have any courses? Now, again, I don't teach music because I didn't learn music, okay? I am self-taught and the way I make music is kind of chaotic, I would say. So, even if I teach a few things, it would not be very helpful for you because my process might be too unique. Because I don't well, I do have like a way of writing tracks. I do have my own methods. But the way I come up with chords is very hard to explain. Like it's just coming out of my brain and I sometimes like can't convey what's happening with my brain. So, it's very difficult. The Australian. Yeah, but Mitch's work is just absolutely amazing and his work is my favorite out of my fellow composers. Michael Yang, his work is great too. His work is great too. Sam's work also great. Okay? Also great. He taught me so many things. Now, I would say for beginner composers who's like starting to write music, if you want to improve, go find other composers. Go meet other composers. Talk to them. Interact with them and grow with them because if you do, you learn so much stuff. You have so much positive interaction feedbacks, and once you get those positive interactions and feedbacks, you will improve and they will improve too, and you grow with them. And if you build a community around you, okay? These people I mentioned, Mitchell, Michael, Sam, these people are all have grown and like really helped me a lot through my entire 5 year journey. So having these kind of people around you really, really helps you improve, okay? It's really, really important if you're planning to make like if you want to build your music a little bit more better and you know have more better skills and stuff. So make sure you do that. Other composers that come to my mind. are does she have a channel? No, she doesn't. Okay. This person is in Newgrounds. She's very active on Newgrounds. Does she have a YouTube channel? I think she does. I might have miswrote it. Okay, okay. She's a very good artist as well. She helped me a lot in earlier years, like way earlier. Like when I was active in Newgrounds back in the day, like around 2016, 17. So she definitely check her out if you can. She's a very good drummer. She's a great percussionist. And yeah, her music is very unique, I would say, very texture oriented and very unique, so check her out. And other composers are Timothy. Timothy's work is also great. He really improved with me. He is one of those composers that grew up with me, but he is way better than me. His experience now surpasses my own experience, and his work is great. His work is amazing. Haven't kept in touch with everyone else from back in the day. Maybe I should start talking in Discords again. Hey, join back in the Discord, man. Join to Sam's Discord, and you will meet everyone that I spoke of. Definitely get back. And the other composer I would say is well, other composers like Mufaya. These composers are a bit later. They joined a bit later than my era, I would say, but they're still great. And Mufaya and Ben. There we go. There we go. There we go. Yeah, his music is like his last name is a bit hard to spell, but his work is great too. Like, you know, there's so many composers that I know that really makes good music. So, you know, build a community, build friends, make friends with other composers. To be honest, if you don't have a composer friend, your life is going to be miserable when you write music because the pain and the creative pain and suffering that you get when writing music, it's hard to talk with other people who doesn't know how to make music. There are some things that you like only the composers feel and know, and they would be able to tell it, you know? Like it's a very weird thing, but like musicians and composers, like they have something in common that when they talk to each other it just ticks, like the conversation ticks, and you know their feelings, you convey their feelings, like there's just something that musicians and composers know that others don't. So if you have a composer friend, you can just talk with them, and you know the conversation just flows like a river. Alex Mokala. I mean, he's a famous guy, okay? I'm talking more about composers who are right next to me and they are like growing together, okay? Alex Mokala is a famous figure, okay? He is famous. Everyone knows him, okay? as well as people like uh Gregory Tan. Oh, he's not very okay. Does he even have a channel? Anyway, or you know, Mark. P- P- I can't write his name. Mark Petrie. Okay. Mark Petrie. Everyone knows him. Epic Music Composer Community. Everyone knows him. Okay. Like those famous figure. Marcus Warner. A lot of people knows him, okay? Not a lot of people, but a lot of people knows him, and he's a famous figure. Like those people, of course they're amazing. Of course it would be great if you can talk with them, but they're hard to reach. They're harder to reach, and even though they would, you know, talk back, like they really have a lot of effort to talk back to you, and I've actually contacted with Marcus Warner before, very briefly, but he did respond. So that's very grateful. But compared to the composers that I've mentioned earlier, they are a bit more harder to reach because they're very busy. They're very busy working on stuff. A.R. Raymond? People like Daniel James. Yes, Daniel James. Yes, definitely Daniel James. Yeah. Yeah, everyone grew up with him, I'd say, as well. Yeah, exactly. This guy? Oh, it's a Hindi songs. Okay. Yeah, it is something important to know that composers who are willing to expand their horizons are very important to learn, like listen to a lot of different genre music. Um like for instance, like big band jazz, you know? Composers who write epic music are might not be as familiar with jazz as those with jazz composers, right? And um what is it? Nor classical epic music? I don't know what to, was it Nor music or something like that? Like epic music but classical. Like those composers who can write those music are very very familiar with something like Beethoven or like Chopin or like, like those classical composers. Neo Noir, I think so. Um no, 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 it's not like that. I don't know what it's called, but it has like lots of strings and stuff, but classical music infused with John Williams. Yeah, definitely. John Williams are like he's one of my favorite composers. So, yeah, John Williams definitely. It's not neo noir. It's not neo noir. I think it's called a noir classical or something like that. It had like it is epic music, but like has like classical elements like solo strings and quartet and stuff. Like it's very very unique, and I want to write it like that sometime. But anyway, yeah, right. Like listening to a lot of different genre is very important because like when you work for a client, sometimes they ask what you don't usually write, right? And that's a common thing. Like when you write for a client, they would ask you to write something that you're not familiar. Like for example, Hindi music. Like if you have like a film where a uh 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 where the main character visits India, for example, okay? When the character visits India, you need to infuse those main theme classical, if you have a main like a classical main theme, you got to infuse it with Hindi music, okay? You got to infuse it with Indian music, and you need to learn those elements, like some sort of basic elements from Indian music, and to infuse them together to make something very unique, okay? You have to do that kind of thing. So it is important to listen to as much genre as you can. Do you listen to classical music? Yeah. Yeah, I listen to it quite a lot. I usually listen to um Raumanov. But yeah, yeah, listen to bossa nova, pop, metal, trap, Hindi, J-pop, etc., etc. Yeah, exactly. Like listen to a lot of different tracks, and that's why Hans Zimmer is so famous, guys. That's why Hans Zimmer is a genius. He infuses so many different styles of music into the track. The Lion King, ho, my God. Like so many different, Pirates of the Caribbean, like that's completely different too, right? Like he's genius. Wrong Mind Off is awesome. Play Godfather theme song? Yeah. I can't play it because it will copyright it, but Godfather soundtrack is also a great soundtrack. Yeah, that's for sure. J-pop classical music mix one. To be honest, J-pop, like I'm like recently I'm more into anime music, like like Japanese rock. Like I'm listening to those more than usual because first I'm playing Genshin and it has so much stuff infused with like Japanese rock, like game main theme music because it has like a lot of edits with that music. Would like it. Oh, you guys are so funny. But yeah. Alright, it's getting a little too early, late. I don't know what to call it, but I'm going to need to get some sleep. I'll be heading out. Have a good day, everybody. And again, congrats, Jesse. Thank you so much, Blank, for joining. I really appreciate you joining. I know this is not the most ideal situation. The dang Twitch kind of, suspended the service for Korea, and things are going pretty hectic right now. So, I'm still in a transition mode. I don't know where to stream gaming. Maybe it would be on my second channel, but like for this one it would be, yeah, I decided to stream it on here. So yeah, so be prepared for maybe possible future videos, not videos, live stream. Star Rail is amazing for that. Yeah, exactly. Like those games are in trend right now, and alongside those are J-pop music and J-rock music. Like those are great like music that a lot of people listen to, and I think those are great. And I also listen to a lot of Nintendo tracks nowadays. Like those are very good tracks. Like Japanese composers are genius. I would say Japanese composers genius. But yeah, oh man, it is already 9:41. Wow. Wow, it's been long talking with you guys. I didn't know it would be that quick. But yeah, we can talk for around 20 more minutes before the stream ends pretty much. And if you guys have any more questions, you can just message me right now. And I'll answer as much as I can. But yeah, it's been a crazy 5 years, and what started as a hobby really turned into something much more than I've expected. And water break for a second. I love Japanese music in general and have studied way too many composers to count. It helped me a lot for my own writing. Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm slowly fusing into that as well. It's kind of great. Wildfire is a good song. What Nintendo OST is your fav right now? Right now I'm more listening into I would say Legends of Zelda and Animal Crossing. Animal Crossing. It's just so chill, okay? I love cozy and chill music. Animal Crossing soundtrack, amazing. I mean, I'm a big fan of Mario Kart Wii. I played that game for years, and that one has really good music too. Mario games have really good music as well. Oh, Arpad, thank you so much. I'm really glad you like Skyland. It's my favorite too. It's one of my favorite, like personal favorites as well for my own track. I would love to do a rework, but not right now. Maybe later. But yeah, it is planned, but not like like it's pretty much when I would say. But I am definitely planning to yeah, make a rework sometime. It's a really great track. I love the melody. Mitch assisted with the melody, okay? He gave me like an idea and I was like, "Oh, maybe I could adjust it." And the melody was born. Ta-da! And it was supposed to be a collab track, guys. Skyland was supposed to be a collab track, and it yeah, things went pretty crazy. I just did whatever like I felt like it would be best, but yeah, it happened. But it's a great track nonetheless. It's a great melody and great track. 100% top Chinese composer will always be Yu Peng Chen. But for like Japanese would be Keki Kobayashi and probably Hisaishi. Yeah, Joe Hisaishi is just genius, just pure genius. Keki Kobayashi. I should check that composer definitely. Yu Peng Chen, genius composer. Really, Animal Crossing might have to check it out sometime. Yeah. Animal Crossing is just chill music. I love cozy and chill kind of music. It's very cozy and I like it. Like I listen to it a lot while I'm doing something that I need to chill. Just stay cozy and stuff. It's great for evening and nighttime music, like background music just playing in the background. It's great. Welcome back, Kumar. Welcome back. Okay, so yeah. Yeah, I started as like a complete hobby, I didn't think too much of it. I just enjoyed making music. It had that kind of exhilaration, if you get what I mean. Like it has that kind of ooh, this is good or something like that, when making tracks. And I love making up stories too. Like I love like capturing that emotion with music. And that's what I usually did with my tracks. And thankfully people enjoyed it, and you guys enjoyed it too, which I'm very grateful. Again, I did not expect to get so much love from people around the world with my tracks, because these are all just they're from my own imagination most of the time, and they're my own emotions and experiences fused into tracks like these. And I'm just very grateful. And those, alongside those composers who really helped me grow technically, more and more, with like to write better tracks, that is, because the first tracks had pretty bad mixing, pretty bad orchestration, like not that great. But I slowly started to spend more time writing various sections and having variations and better mixing and mastering. That's getting better and better. Now I'm working for clients and I'm working for projects that they want their emotion to, be conveyed. And I'm very glad working with them. And the one of the biggest exhilarations working now is when I nail something that it really makes me feel like this has to be it. This has to be it. And when I show it to the director or client and they would be like, ooh, this part, I love this part, this is perfect. That is when I get the most exhilaration. So, even though I don't feel like it's no longer a hobby, it's not like I have fun making music anymore, the exhilaration is still there. The love for composing music is still there. And I would say it's getting more mature, I would guess and it's been a great 5-year journey and it's been very wild. A lot of things happened. Um what started as a mere, hobby that would escape from my sad reality would turn into something more hopeful and something that would, sustain my credit card bills. Suggest me good music for overcoming depression. Overcoming depression. I would say listening to chill music, lo-fi music is a great way because it is such a cozy music and easy listening music that it would not feel too much pressure in your brain. And also it helps you sleep more. It helps you sleep more better, and when you sleep more better, your life becomes a little bit more easier. So I would say that would help. My favorite genre of music has been metal in genre in my life, and I've learned so much by learning to produce it. I honestly recommend everyone to write something else or to just get the feeling. Metal? Oh my god. I love metal except the screaming. I know the point of metal is screaming, but the screaming is what gets me. Other than that, metal is amazing, okay? the the point of metal is screaming, but I don't like screaming, but everything else is fine. It indeed caught the emotions well. I'm very glad you think so. It's well deserved. You did a great job on these tracks. Definitely came a long way. Yeah, definitely. Lots of changes. That's one of the best feelings in the world. Yeah, definitely. Well, for me, your music helped during depression. Oh, I'm so glad. Because I would say, okay, so I write hopeful tracks, right? The reason I make hopeful tracks is A, to feel hopeful for myself, and B, for others to feel hopeful. Or C, to like, it's kind of weird. Okay, so Soar Again has a very interesting story. Soar Again was written when I was in my own personal sadness and grief, okay? And I wrote Soar Again because of it. And whenever I try to write music when I'm in a sad mood, it always turns out very hopeful and uplifting, which is kind of weird. I don't know why, but it happens like that. Like, Soar Again is like that. It's Time as well. Also grief and personal sadness. Like, these two tracks are born from those sadness and stuff. So I'm very glad these help you guys, like, relieve your sad minds, because it helped me too when writing these tracks. It helped me relieve some of that sadness out of it. So it's much as of a personal experience for you guys as much as it's for me. So it's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy, but it is what it is. That's the true story. I used to hate the stream, but it's one of those things I say grows on you once you hear it more, and then start understanding more of the emotions behind it. Yeah, I mean, I would say... okay, this is a meme song, okay? But I listened to this track, and I would say, even though it's a meme song, it's a masterpiece, okay? Wait. Let's listen to this track, and I will talk about it, and then we can end the stream for now. And if you have any more questions, you can just leave a comment after the stream ends. It will have a video up, and you can just, type it in. But I don't care if this gets copyrighted. I don't think it will. So let's just listen to this, and I would say this is a technical masterpiece, and I will explain why as we go along.
Wait, we're not doing any more of these nerdy meme songs, are we? Well, let's take a look outside and see how lucky we are to live in a beautiful world like this. Because you see, any time in any season, there's a rhyme and there's a reason. We keep spinning on this tiny rock in circles. Could have spawned in a much less pleasing place, be squeezed to death in outer space, or frozen in the system of... Anyway, humanity is young. Some monkeys found a common tongue. We built the cities, we got overrun by locusts. We just made up a structured law, but gods weren't there to help us. Nor Osiris, nor Anubis, nor... Scans and books and brands and hooks and the McDonald's meals you used to adore. They're camouflaging, they're sabotaging. I can't take it anymore. Please repost, there's an imposter everywhere you go. Please repost, looking at most of AMONGUS. Please repost, there's an imposter nowhere to report. Could have lost the game that they host. They're in you and they're in me.
Now we have a special report from an anonymous source who claims to be a great imposter.
Guys, this is just a technical masterpiece, okay? Just listen to it.
We invented letters, but nobody discussed why the very first one was looking kind of sus. Well, the humanity is doomed. See, in Japan it means the moon, and the whole language of Sri Lanka's kind of saucy. So leave your cozy sleeping bags and hurry up to the other. There's a new task to welcome our new Lord and Master. Damn, what a nightmare! I've got to write a song about it. Please repost, there's an imposter everywhere you go. Please repost, looking amongst AMONGUS. Please repost, there's an imposter nowhere to report. Could have lost the game that they host.
Guys, this is Among Us, yeah. It's so good.
Hello everyone, my name is
You're
Gabriel
welcome,
Brown, Black
Lightning.
Griffin, and
You're welcome. You're welcome. See, this is one of the reasons when I selected this track, because when you said metal, it reminded me of this, okay? This is technically metal, okay, I would say. Yeah, right? Yeah, right? Also, this is awesome. It really reminds me of a bit of a series I have going on with my content. Yeah, I mean, this is, like, a technical masterpiece, guys. Like, it started off as a musical, right? Like, it starts as a typical musical. Now, and then after that, when this comes in, you can hear some guitars, like some electric guitars in the back. It transitions into rock, right?
they're sabotaging. I can't take it anymore.
The guitar, doom doom. And then there's this full rock music. Like, it's just rock, you know?
Now we have a special report.
And then suddenly it just switches to like wow, like this is just switching genre like left and right. Like, I love these kind of tracks because the way you have to glue those together is very, very difficult, and they did it so masterfully. Because if you
We have an anonymous source who claims to be
listen to it carefully,
imposter.
like, you have those like like toms going on. It's a very good transition to a much more EDM kind of thing. Electronic music, I would say. Yeah. And then it would, like, the drums would end briefly with the reverb, and then it would switch back to the musical, you know? It's so... like, the way he says that is so funny. Anyway, like, you know, just switching to this uplifting class, like, musical, like comic musical, like, genre, and then suddenly... Like, seriously, a Latin choir spelling, like doing a a Latin song, like classical, like, this is crazy.
Damn,
And then back to rock, of course. And then as the emotion escalates, it would turn from rock to metal, right? Like, it's the peak of his emotion, like, insanity emotion. And it would convey through the metal, because screaming, it conveys insane emotion. And the way you said, Lightning, about, like, you get why you're screaming, like, people would scream when they, you know, sing metal. Like, this is the reason why, because this guy is insane, is getting insane with this Lego piece. And it makes sense, so it doesn't feel like it's off. It just makes sense, right? Yeah, so this is just a technical masterpiece. Like, the way that they switch genre and the way that they conveyed it so nicely with the story arc of this guy slowly getting insane with the Among Us, is just a definite masterpiece. Can't believe we ended on Among Us song. I mean, it's just reminded of the Lightning's comment, really just reminded of that. So I had no choice but to, you know, share this with you guys. Yeah, it really reminds me of my Funktober series. Yeah, other than that, I would say it reminds me of Animaniacs, if you haven't known. Animaniacs have that kind of chaotic music. And this one.
You see, taxis are Ubers.
But this one is more like a little bit more refined and a little bit subdued. But this is kind of like the classic musical, like, you know.
We don't leave our homes thanks to Amazon drones. They track what we do through our watches.
Like classic musical thing, right? So yeah, it had that kind of remind me of that one as well. I'd say that's how it really is for me with the band called Red. They're my favorite band animal. Band ever. Ooh, Animaniacs, this is classic. We're really mentioning everything now. Yeah. But yeah, a technical masterpiece. Like, listening to different genres and, you know, infusing them. Like, that's my next goal for my tracks. I would love to make one of these kind of thing where they would infuse different tracks. There's also one that I really love. Is it... I forgot what it's called, but I think it was called the potato... Was it potato chips? Or something like that. Oh, chip something. But there's this composer who wrote a track called Firedancer. I don't know if it's on YouTube, but they wrote it for like a contest. There's this chips combo. Chip combo. I gotta find it. Chips Compo or something like that. Chips Compo. Oh, I was right. But I forgot the password. I need to. Is it this one? No, it's not. Is it this one? Yes, it is. Let's go. Wait, did someone message? Oh. So I would say Firedancer. Yeah. This composer, Miolophone, he's an amazing composer, by the way. He wrote Firedancer. It's for like a small community contest thing. And it has so many different like genres mixed in together. And I really want to write something like this in the future. This is my next goal. Too loud. Miolophone, you're amazing. So much infusing, like infusing different kinds of genre. See, it says like someone asked for something eclectic that draws from a lot of genres, so he wrote a folk rockish track influenced by funk, samba, acid jazz, trailer music, EDM, hardcore, and traditional African, Celtic, Middle Eastern music. Oh, come on, look at that. That is a mix of a lot of genres, right? Like, it's crazy. So yeah, something like that is my next goal as a composer. Like, I want to write something like this, and with the knowledge that I gain from writing for clients, I would probably be able to do this some kind of thing. Okay. So that's my future, I guess. And okay, so before we stop, oh, sorry, I'm so sorry, guys. Oh, I hit the microphone. I'm sorry. Before I go, pretty soon I'm gonna start experimenting with a lot of style of music a lot more, and I'm gonna be going all out. Yeah, definitely do that. Okay, so before we go, I'm going to talk about what's going to happen next year. So, first of all, I'm currently working for a client for a video game. I can't talk about much, but hopefully it will be done next year, early next year, and I will update you guys on how it turns out and if the game will be released. If it will be released, I will be letting you guys all know. And I will be graduating next spring. Yay! From college. Yay! I'll be graduating with a bachelor's degree of film and media arts. So I will have some knowledge related to film, and I'm gonna make a short film. And I'm gonna update it on my community page as well about this because it is my personal project, and it will probably be released on my second channel, so I'll let you all know if that happens. Would definitely buy the game you wrote for. I don't think it would be like a buying purchasing game. Maybe it would be free to play. I don't know what's gonna happen, but it's a thing. Woo! Yeah, it's very kind of nervous. I'm kind of nervous writing, like making a short film for as a director, it's kind of a very exhilarating experience, and it's gonna be very chaotic, like first half of the 2024. So I won't be uploading any music, I'm pretty sure. Unless if the client wants me to upload my soundtracks to my own channel, then I will be uploading a lot of music. Um, but yeah, but other than that, I don't think there won't be any uploads starting like the first half of 2024. After graduation, I actually have no idea what's gonna happen, so I'll update you guys on the community page about it as well. We're gonna play it anyways. Thank you so much, guys. I'll update you guys on the community page as soon as the info is ready and as soon as I can share it, because wow, like it's crazy, guys. Like I've been working on this client's work for a few months now, and I'm starting to getting fond of this whole thing, and it's quite interesting project, and I really can't wait to share it with you guys. Okay, well, celebrating 5 years, I've done this short, short live stream. I really hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you have any more questions, you can just leave me a comment if you're watching after this went live, and I'll answer as much as I can. And I really hope you guys stick around. I'm sorry, there won't be as much public tracks, and um but I will try to make some more, okay? And if you guys could request any tracks that you want me to make, I will consider it. Definitely consider it. But other than that, I'll be mostly like for at least the first half, I'll be working for clients, and a lot of tracks that I will release will be related to those client projects. So, if you guys want to check more of those, you can still stick around. If you don't, it's okay. You can just always visit my channel to just listen to some of those old tracks. But I will try to make more, okay? I will try. Thank you so much, Blazer, Arpad, Lightning. You guys are amazing. Thank you, Blank, as well, even though you left. And thank you, Kumar, for joining, as well as I'm checking through Jacob. Yes, Jacob, thank you for joining. And everyone else who just came by, Jason, everyone else who came by, thank you so much for joining today, and I really appreciate it. You got any plans for more streams by chance? Hopefully I'll do a stream of related to the client's work. Hopefully on some time in the first half of 2023. I can't share any information related to it, but once it's available, I will do a live stream related to it and talk about it. Yeah, maybe if the game opens before the first half, during the first half, that is, if the game opens at that time, I will also be doing a first walkthrough or something like that, you know? Maybe I'll just play through the game or something. So yeah, something like that, maybe. Yeah. Arpad, thank you so much again. Anyway, you guys are amazing. Thank you so much for sticking around, and Merry Christmas, guys. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Hope you have a great time with your family and friends, and I really hope you would stay safe and, stay warm throughout the cold. If you're living in the South, stay cool, okay? Stay cool. And I will update you more on stuff that's coming forward on the community channel. Hopefully I'll do more streaming, because this is fun. This is fun, and YouTube streaming is not that bad, actually. It's not that bad, so maybe I'll do more as time comes along. Anyway, that's it for today, and thank you so much, guys, for joining again. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye! What? One second. My stream is not working again. Okay. Anyway, bye-bye!